What's going on, guys? Kevin here to bring you a new video today, where today I'm going to be bringing you part 2 of my top 10 favorite fighting games, where today I'm going to be going over my top 3 favorite fighting games, and then also include some honorable mentions as well. I do apologize this part 2 took a little bit of time, but I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Well, we're getting down to the top 3. The next game on the list is Mortal Kombat 2. Coming in at number 3 after just mentioning 3 other Mortal Kombat games a little while back. Mortal Kombat 2 definitely stands as the best game in the franchise. Um, I believe, because it's essentially Mortal Kombat, but like everything about Mortal Kombat was made better in Mortal Kombat 2. Like they added an additional move, they added some really cool characters, some cool stages, a cool secondary boss that you would have to fight. Kintaro, who is like Goro, but even more like badass in my opinion. And and they added um, the, the more they made it like more like challenging, like a lot more challenging. And that can make or break a game. Like when you get like really frustrated at a game, you're like, this isn't even worth it. But I mean, the game definitely drove me to just keep improving, to finally work towards achieving the goal of beating the game. I mean, it definitely takes a lot of work to beat the game. You really have to put in practice with your moves, and you have to know how to use your moves, each of your abilities. Yeah, I memorized Katana's moves because you have to know certain moves if you're gonna win. So levitate is back X, I believe, or back X or B. I can't remember. If I had a controller here, I could probably tell you. Here's one. Yeah, fan levitate was back B, and then fan throw was forward A, or forward A and B, I think actually. But yeah, you would have to really master those moves to be good at the game, and know when to use them exactly. And you couldn't actually continue the game more than, I think it was 5 times. So it's either 4 or 5 that you could continue. So usually what would happen is I would end up using at least one continue before I finally won. But a lot of the times I would use all of them, and then I'd have to start over. So if you use all your continues, then you have to start over. And I don't consider it being a wussy if you can't beat it without using continue. I feel like that's what it's there for. It's there for you to get back in the game. Try a different strategy. Try to be a little bit better than the last game. But yeah, it definitely drove me a lot to It was one of those games that drove me a lot to really get good at the game, because the characters they start out pretty easy, and then they get progressively harder, especially the last 2 regular characters. And then Kintaro is its own beast because he can basically kill you in 10 seconds because his attacks take a third of your damage, of your health, I mean. And then Shao Kahn is extremely defensive and hard to reach, and you have to hit him when he's taunting you. He's tough, but yeah, and he throws pretty powerful attacks too. But that game added Katana and Milena specifically, and Baraka, and a couple others, I think. But yeah, those are the most notable. Katana, I absolutely love. She's my favorite character in the whole franchise. I just adore her. She's just super badass character that I absolutely love. Yeah, she's great. And she's the reason why I got into that game so much. The next game on the list is Street Fighter 2. This game is super fun. This game brought some big history in my childhood, and as of recently, when I first bought a Super Nintendo, I made it my mission to beat the game on level 7 without losing any lives. I mean, without losing a round, or actually, I made it my mission to beat the game on level 7 first, and then I beat the game on level 7 without losing a round, um, which is like means that like you have to not lose a single round of the game, and then like if you accomplish that, um, then you'll get this like ending at the end where Chung Li says "Yatta." So like I did that with Chung Li and Ryu, and you like that game is really fun to just like practice and lab characters with like blocking, and it's all about like also just like learning other characters that you're fighting and like how to like go up against them. Like they're all different. Like you have to fight all the characters in the cast. So eventually you start like figuring out like methods to like how you can um, how you can fight the different characters in the franchise, and you just come up with like a really like really methodical strategy on how to beat each and every character without losing a single round. And it is like a passion of mine that I grew into. Specifically, I think I had more fun with it with Ryu just because Chung Li is just like you just like do your thunder kicks and then you win the game. If you get that, you do like a ton of damage if you do that. But Ryu, you have to be a little bit more methodical and strategic with like your Hadoukens and the Shoryuken if you can figure out how to do it. Which to be honest, I had trouble doing actually. But yeah, for a game of its time, it was really fun. It was 1992, I believe, and it brought some really fun times to the table with M. Bison, like this really cool villain, and like whenever you beat the game with like each character, you get like this like ending. Um, yeah, uh, you get like this ending especially tailored to like the character, so it's really cool. I mean, considering that's what all it brought to the game. I mean, it's 1992, so you couldn't expect that much, but like that's awesome. Like to have like such a cool, fun first player mode like that, facing all these characters on their different stages, and you had like these bonus stages too, and then you could also play with against your friend. I mean, it's one on one, but it's that's other fighting games are like that too. Even Mortal Kombat X is only one on one. What am I saying? But like, yeah, really fun. The last game on the list, you could probably guess what it is. It's Super Smash Bros. Melee. Guys, you had to know it would be Super Smash Bros. Melee. Like, of course. Great game. First of all, let me just talk about, the game in the casual sense. So in the casual sense, I grew up with it a lot as a kid. I would play it against my brothers. I would play it against, my brother's friends. I would play it against my regular friends. I would have fun playing it alone, unlocking characters, doing all sorts of game modes on it. Like everything the game had to offer was something fun, and everything that I've been trying recently is also something fun. I mean, like I've been like exploring the game again, which is like awesome that I could like explore it again and still enjoy it. So like as a kid, I would do like the event matches because those are fun, and beating that final event match, the showdown, was so cool because like you could, you would face Ganondorf, Mewtwo, and Giga Bowser, which was like hard, really hard at the time, but now it's not even that bad. But like, because I've become like really good at the game, not like really good at the game, but not like other people are like competitors, but like I've gotten decent at the game where like computers like they ain't nothing. But if I was to face like some like real competitive players, probably might get my ass kicked. Just saying, but it's all good. But yeah, that was I was getting sidetracked. But yeah, that was really fun as a kid, and I would play the adventure mode, where you'd like go through all these stages, beating all these different characters and different environments with different twists. And recently, I beat that on very hard without losing a life, without continuing. So that was pretty fun. And then also, there's classic mode where you like face off against a set of characters, and then you get master hand, and then you had all star mode where you'd like face every character in the franchise, progressively getting harder with like 3 hearts and then you would have to face a team of Game Watches at the end, and groups of 3 characters sometimes. I also beat that on very hard without continuing. That's an accomplishment. I also beat very hard on classic mode with 1 life without continuing. That was also pretty huge. And then you had other fun game modes like super sudden death and like all these like versions of Melee. You know, I would say the game isn't all glamorous. I mean, like, it's funny because like everyone regards like, you know, stock battle is like, you know, the classic, you know, Melee, you know, battle. But when you first start the game on Melee, if you select Melee, it says Melee or Melee, however the announcer pronounces it, when it's time battle. But no one does time battle. When you change it to stock battle, it says survival. So actual Melee to the game's creator is time battle, which is stupid. Time battle isn't that cool, really. It's just whoever gets the best kill to death ratio wins. So it's not necessarily the best player per se. I guess, I don't know. Hard to say for that, but like, I mean, like, it's just funny how like the thing that people regard like the most fun in Melee is not like what was originally, you know, considered to be Melee, you know, as time battle. But yeah, and then they have grab the coins, which I was doing lately to get a trophy, and I've actually been getting all the trophies in Melee, which is cool too, which is really fun. Yeah, and I'm pretty much have all of them at this point. I just need to get a Captain a Pikmin save file on my memory card, so that should be cool to do. But yeah, and yeah, they have coin battles too, which yeah aren't fun. Even if you get the most kills in the game and don't die at all, another character can still win. It's pretty janky. Like you can just get like outplayed just for no reason, just by not collecting coins. Like you can do a ton of damage on one character and it just doesn't yield good results. But like aside from that, like and like bonus is stupid too. You don't even get me start on bonus. That's just like a point system like that determines like how good you are. Like and they award the winner is like who got the most like style points. Like okay. But yeah, it's just really fun to keep practicing and getting good at that game. You know, with the many different modes that it's had, those all the modes are good fun. Multi-man melee, 100-man melee, 15-minute melee, target test, home run contest. They're all fun. And then you know, playing the game just against computer players, getting really good is also just a lot of fun when you like learn new things about just like comboing, like getting really good. And like I've recently gotten into using Marth and Captain Falcon a lot, and those two specifically are very fun. But yeah, I've been like it's just fun to like. There's so much like room for growth in that game, just to like lab different characters and just keep progressively getting better. And it's just a lot of fun to play, and like, and it helps to have like also just cool game modes to play along with that as you're trying to get better. Yeah, and as a kid, you know, I loved it too, and now you know I'm getting into it more competitively, just watching it for fun competitively, and like appreciating it in a different sense. So I kind of see both sides of the story. You know, I see it as a fun competitive game, and I see it as a fun, you know, casual game. But you know, I'm kind of just enjoying the game as a whole. But yeah, and then some honorable mentions that I wanted to get into. I probably should have done this before Melee, but yeah, I'll do this now. The first one is Injustice 2. This one was excluded from the list just because it didn't bring a ton to the table, I feel like, and I did play the story mode, and I didn't find it as good as the first, and the versus mode just didn't have all that much longevity to it. I mean, it had some improved graphics and cool like animated animations, like with like I said before, like where characters do certain things, but like it just wasn't all that memorable. But I mean, it was kind of fun. It's just one of those things that like you get the game and then you play it for a week and then you just forget that it existed. Like, yeah, that's basically Injustice 2. Um, DBZ Fighters. This one is a fun one, from what I've seen at least. I couldn't really put it on this list just because I haven't played it a ton yet. Um, in my opinion, like I just haven't like seen it yet really, but I have played it a little bit to understand it. Seems like a really fun game. Like the AIs are pretty smart with how they attack, and you can get like really cool combos and use like special moves. And there's a pretty decent versatile range of characters to choose from. So yeah, and then you have Street Fighter 4, also a pretty fun game that just um, didn't really like remain in my head that much for whatever reason. It just you know it wasn't something that just stuck with me a ton. It had a really challenging first player mode where you'd fight this character named Seth at the end, who was really fucking annoying. That I would rage at. But yeah, it was somewhat fun though. But yeah, and then some other games. I feel like I kind of like overlooked some games here that I will talk about now. One of them being Soul Calibur. Um, I guess the franchise, specifically five, is pretty fun. I had a lot of fun with that game with friends when they come over, and there's definitely a decent range of characters to choose from in that list. You know, having not remembered it initially, I would probably put this more like low, like between top 8 and 10, like somewhere in that area, because it was fun. It's not extremely rememberable, but like it's fun to play with friends, and it had a solid storyline with Nightmare as like the main villain. I remember, so that was pretty fun. And then the other game that I did want to mention as well was Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, which is a great game with a great cast of characters, which I haven't gotten all that into as of now, but like I have played it with friends before, and there's a lot of Mimi characters to choose from and some really fun matchups, and they all have some fun abilities. But yeah, I just haven't explored that game a ton, so I feel like I didn't really have the privilege to put it on this list, but it is a fun game from what I've seen so far. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this list today. This has been a really long video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for those that watched, and I'll see you guys in the next one.